my name is Liz, the voice behind the hands, I guess, of Heretic Owl Tarot. And I'm like, where am I looking? Here we go. Hello. I keep feeling this urge to get on here and show my face, and I don't know why that is. Why would I do that? I don't know. Um, but here I am. So when, so this urge started kind of coming to me, right? And I'm like, oh my gosh, like, what would I even do? Like, the thought of actually doing a tarot reading by like showing my face like this, no. So my other thought, and part of that is because I'm like, you'll probably notice this at some point, but I cannot hold a focus to like this little, camera lens. I look all over the place. I usually, when I'm sitting here doing tarot readings, I'm looking outside. I'm staring at trees. I'm watching birds. Like, um, so I don't know. It's like, do I can't imagine showing my face when I'm not even looking at, the camera, because I can't hold my focus there. So I don't know. Anyway, when I kind of started thinking about like, well, what would I do? Because, just wanting to honor that urge, that feeling, because it does feel good. But, I was like, okay, well, what would I do instead? So then I thought, well, maybe I'll just kind of get on and like introduce myself and give, some little tidbits about me. Because I don't know, have I ever really done that? I have no clue. I don't remember. But also too, just to say that I realized that I was a bit inconsistent last year as far as posting videos and when I was posting videos and how often, whatever. And I don't know how much of that is going to change, but I do want to make it a priority again because I really do enjoy doing this. I love I love tarot readings. I love giving them. I love receiving them. I love watching them. So but part of the reason, and actually the actual reason why I was so inconsistent with that last year, is because I felt like I was dying. Not to be dramatic, but I was basically operating at like my lowest setting, like basic survival, really. And come to find out, I was actually diagnosed with severe sleep apnea, which I believe that I've actually been suffering from since high school, which was a long time ago. But I was really relieved, though, to receive that diagnosis, because also there was already like a path of treatment available, and it was then waiting for that because, of course, that took a lifetime to finally come around. But I've been on CPAP treatment since the beginning of January, actually, and I feel like a completely different person. I mean, I feel alive, which feels good. I feel rested. I feel present. It just, what a difference it makes. So I'm also convinced that everybody has sleep apnea. So if you have access to it, highly recommend a sleep study because, man, the power of sleep, right? So anyway, I'm also like, I'm very excited to do my first set of videos after being on treatment for a month. I guess today would be a month. Today is February 5th. I have no clue when I'm actually going to start the actual tarot readings. I don't think I'm going to do that today, probably tomorrow. But anyway, I'm excited. I mean, maybe nothing will change. I don't know. Maybe some things will. We'll see how it goes. But how exciting is that? It's exciting for me anyway. I also might like I don't really have this set up to do the, like the my table and me, but I might see if I can finagle something and just try it. Just, have like the camera on the table and then have like a little overlay of me in the corner. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. If you don't see me up there, I didn't figure it out because I'm not super tech savvy in that type of way, but maybe eventually a solution for that will come up. But otherwise, just a little bit about me because I did kind of decide that I was making this an introduction type of thing, but I can't give you too much information because the more I remain mysterious, the better. And that is because I'm a 5-1 human design profile, manifesting generator, emotional authority. And with that 5-1 profile, the whole familiarity breeds contempt. Um, did you, if you heard Taylor Swift's song Bejeweled, she says that in there. She's a 5-1 also. So I'm like, there's no doubt somebody gave her a human design reading somewhere down the road, right? Or she could have just Googled her own chart. But anyway, so yeah, the more I remain mysterious and behind the projection of the fifth line, as long as it's a positive projection, right? Because on the other side of that is being burned at the stake. But anyway, so 5-1, manifesting generator, emotional authority, left angle cross of uncertainty. I have a lot of gates in uncertainty gates, so I'm never sure about shit. But even, like as far as like putting my face out here, right? Like part of me, like I feel like there is kind of this like evolution, just there's some sort of change I feel as far as either the way that I present videos or the way that I do them. And part of me, like a big part of me wants to wait until I figure that out. I don't know if that's my Virgo moon. I don't know what that is, but the other part of me is like, no, I mean, like we figure it out by trying, right? So you kind of like push through the uncertainty and eventually certainty shows up. So we'll see what happens. But I'm a Cancer rising, if you can't tell by my super round face. I'm also a Cancer Venus. And like I said, Virgo moon, Taurus sun. And what else? I am clearly into plants, if you can't tell. I also sell plants. I have a plant stand at a coffee shop in downtown Colorado Springs. So if you're ever in the area, check out the Perk downtown. I have my plants in there. I absolutely love it. It's so fun, but my house looks like a jungle because it's also my greenhouse. It's where I keep my property for that business. And I am attuned to Reiki master level. And before every reading, I set the intention for the message to come through me, not from me. I clear the space. I also get consent from every deck that I use in every reading. I have consent from it to use it for all 12 readings. And the way that I do that is usually there's a deck that just kind of like pops up in my mind. And I'll shuffle that deck until a card comes out. And if it's a general positive card, I take that as a yes. If it's a general negative, quote unquote, card, then I take that as a no and I'll try a different deck. I do that for all my readings, personal readings, if I'm doing an event, obviously YouTube, Instagram, which I've also been super inconsistent with and want to get back on to posting daily readings on there. But anyway, I get consent every time from the decks that I use to use them for the readings. And Is there anything else? I realize like how long this actually is, and now I'm like, oh, shut up. So is there anything else I want to tell you for now? Because I just lost my train of thought. I don't know. That's it. I'm so glad that you're here. If you watch this whole thing, thank you. Follow me on Instagram for daily readings eventually, if you care about those. And last thing I'll say is that I do my readings based on human design profile, and you don't have to know your human design profile or anything about human design in order for the message to be for you. I mean, if anything, you would have to know your human design profile, I guess, right? But you don't even have to know anything else about it. You don't have to know anything about human design. I don't generally go into very heavy human design terms. I might talk about strategy and authority sometimes, but the message is still the message for you, even if you have no clue about human design. And if you don't have any clue about human design, I'm happy that I introduced you to it, because it unlocked some stuff for me that was pivotal in my healing and self, acceptance and love journey. So anyway, I think that's all that I'll say for now. If there's anything else that I'm missing, I'll just say it in the video. And I'll see you later. Bye. Hello. Again, because I can't not say hello at the beginning of a video. I feel like I'm just gonna implode if I don't. So many hellos. Anyway, we're rocking through these videos. Hopefully, we're doing this dual video situation. And at first, what is so funny? Okay. What is so funny, I'm going in order this time. I usually choose the order for my little bowl. But since I was doing something new, I was like, I'm just going to go in order this time from 1-3 to 6-3. And the first video I did for the 1-3, I was like a sweaty effing mess. I was just finishing doing some manual labor around here and just got this urge to sit down and do the reading. And of course it would be when I felt like I was like looking a mess, right? But also it's like there's nowhere but up from there, right? There hasn't been anything, knock on wood, worse than that. But I think it too, it kind of forced me to get even more comfortable showing my face. So, just interesting. But I'm moving through these readings fairly quickly. Actually, after your reading, I'm gonna take a little breaky poo and kind of focus my attention on something else. My ADHD needs to squirrel a little bit. So I'm probably gonna do some cleaning. At some point I'm gonna get some lunch. Whatever. But I also am there's a possibility that I could be done with these readings today, which is so cool, because prior to this month, I was so tired all of the time that I could do 2 or 3 readings for YouTube a day and just be done the rest of the day, because it does take a lot of energy, to do these readings. So anyway, that's a positive change that I'm seeing. So I think that's cool. This says, you'll probably see me do this a lot because I don't know if my camera up here is auto-focusing, and the thought of it not and it being blurry, I can't handle. So, I'm just getting my shoulder exercises in. And this says, give in to passion. I love that. It also, like, it has very strong Queen of Wands energy. And it might just be because I just saw the Queen of Wands in the 4-1 reading. And this is so similar to the dress that she's wearing. It's vibrant, it's red. She had shoes on that had flames on them. And this just reminds me of flames, like the yellow to the red thing. And so anyway, it feels very passionate, obviously, given to passion, right? But like it feels very fiery, very creating, dancing to the beat of your own drum, even. There's a bunch of butterflies in there, and butterflies are all about metamorphosis and transformation. So it's even like using some form of medium in order to transform an energy, right? I mean, there could be something to do with music, whether there's like a message that you find in music, whether it's listening to music in order to be inspired. It could be, of course, dancing. It could be moving your body and even like transmuting energy in that capacity. Like if you have felt like there's been energy that's been stuck in you for a while, then it's like moving your body, even if it's just like shaking, like it's moving your body in order to kind of loosen up that energy. Beautiful. We have the Queen of Swords, the 10 of Cups, the 2 of Pentacles, which has come out so many times in these readings, which is cool. We have the 9 of Pentacles, which I love. We have the 4 of Wands, and it's under the 10 of Cups, which is, it would be hilarious if the Queen of Wands came out. No. It is the Knight of Pentacles. And look who it is. There's the Queen of Wands. She's back there somewhere. All right, let me just make sure everything is in frame here, and then we'll start talking about you. All right, I just moved things over a little bit because my little face is going to go, hopefully, right there. So I also, I love the getting out into nature aspect of it too, because it has this feeling of like, it's not like you're putting on a show for other people, right? It's like you're doing something for yourself. You are expressing your own creativity because, and that's not to say that like other people are, you're not, sharing it with other people by any means, because you certainly can be sharing that in some capacity with other people. But it's more so about like creating something from a space where it's in alignment with you. It doesn't have anything to do with the way that other people go about creating their own thing. It's like, whatever it is that's flowing through you, that's how you are going to express it, which I think is beautiful. Let's see what the book has to say. What is it? Give into. Okay, but like, where is it? There it is. Okay. It's on page 66. There's no 6s on the table, but that could be a number that you see. There are times in life when the best thing you can do is to give in to passion, whether it is the fire of a new relationship, the excitement of creating art, or simply the joy of spending a day on the beach under the heat of the sun. It can be good to let yourself go and just be, as long as whatever you are passionate about is a positive force in your life, love or creativity or just plain fun. It is important to occasionally stop worrying, but about being practical and simply follow your bliss. Absolutely. And also too, like, isn't that ultimately what most people, obviously, I don't want to speak for everybody, but we do want in our lives the opportunity or the possibility to follow our bliss, and even, the confidence and security to express ourselves authentically without our own judgment, which leads us to think that other people are going to judge us, right? Like, or they're going to judge us in the same way that we're judging ourselves. So it's like, this reflection of how we feel about ourselves and, oh my God, somebody else sees it in me too, type of thing. So we have the Queen of Swords. We start with the Queen of Swords. And the queen, like, I see queens as when we embody the energy of the suit ourselves. It's like we master the energy of the suit. We recognize the energy of the suit within ourselves before we're able to like share it or lead other people in that element. And swords have to do with our thoughts. It's our perception, ideas, it's divine truth also. I also see swords as being the suit of ego, because that's generally where we hear our ego is in our minds, right? And our ego is created by the stories that we attach to experiences, to emotions, to memories, whether they're our stories or not, and whether they're true or not. But it becomes the reason why we do things, why we don't do things, why our personality is the way that it is, right? So the Queen of Swords, there is this understanding about yourself. There is this clarity of thought. You could be discovering a new truth about yourself. You could even be honoring the truth about yourself, like divine truth, right? Like not all of this, gremlin, like this outside influence or, what other people say or have said that you are, or, right? That's what I meant, like about whether the stories are ours or not. Like, did somebody tell you that you are a certain way and you accepted that as being part of your identity and part of your personality, but like you come to this realization that like, that's actually not who I am. And if I was that way in a particular situation, it's, like what were the elements, like what is the word I'm looking for? What was causing me to be in that type of energy, or for me to act that way or think that way or communicate that way, right? They're also, the Queen of Swords is sometimes depicted as being cold, but it's the absence of, quote unquote, the absence of emotion, and it's based purely on logic and truth and what can be proven. She's holding that Ace of Swords there because she will cut out any bullshit, whether it's hers or somebody else's, that comes her way and disturbs her peace, So, I mean, you could have been in this energy, or you are in this energy of sifting through who you are. What thoughts make you who you are? Where does your ego even come from? Like what stimuli was present, or what made your ego as it is, the way that it is, right? There's also even this like regal feeling to her though, because it's almost like she's ready. She has this quill in her hand too, so this could have something to do with journaling or writing, but it's something about like getting it out of your head and seeing it on paper or seeing it written in some capacity, even if like, again, it could just be journaling. Because I am a firm believer, and it's really only because I've seen this so many times in myself, where there's this thought process that is kind of on like a hamster wheel in my head, and or it like just kind of starts to snowball, where like at the top of the mountain it starts off like really small, but the more that it is rolling down the mountain or the hill, the bigger the snowball becomes, right? So it's like the longer that it stays in my head, the longer that the thought or the idea or the belief or whatever stays in my head, the more like out of control it can get so, but like when I personally, and again, this is just from my personal experience, but when I find myself writing it out, whether it is on pen and paper or just in a Word document or even as a note in my phone, right? I start writing out those thoughts that are snowballing. I start writing out like, I'm feeling this kind of way, or I'm beating myself up over this thing, or this is the idea that I have, but then there's this whole like swarm of reasons why not to, or whatever the case may be, right? But then I see it on paper, and first of all, it takes the energy out of it, right? It takes it from being out of my head and having the capacity or the ability to continue to snowball, and it puts it like right in front of my face. So I can say, is that true or not? Is that something that I actually believe about myself or not? Most times it's not. Like most times I'm like, I don't even know where the hell that came from, but that's not an actual belief that I have in myself or about the situation. But again, it transmutes the energy. Like I was even saying with this given to passion card, right? Like because we have these butterflies with the music symbols. So there's this energy, there's something about transmuting energy, and that just so happened to even imprint on this Queen of Swords card. And then we move to the Nine of Pentacles. Hair just falling out all over the place. So we move on to this Queen of Pentacles. And it's almost like, okay, so what did I say? The Nine of Pentacles. Did I say the Queen of Pentacles? That's interesting. But it's the Nine of Pentacles. And the Nine of Pentacles is about individual success, financial independence, financial freedom. But nines are, again, when we embody the energy, it's like this completion within ourselves. There's something individually, independently of ourselves, because then, it's with the queens, once we master the energy in ourselves and we move on to the king, and that's when we can share it with other people. We can be a leader and an authority in the subject, right? And the Nine of Pentacles, there's a completion that happens with you first. And then with the tens, it generally involves other people or community or your family, whatever. So there is reaching a point of success. It could even be discovering or getting clear on what success is for you. Like what are the things, like what do you want your life to look like, type of thing. And even in this Nine of Pentacles, she's taking a break. And this Given to Passion card was talking about taking a break. So if you have been in this energy, even of the Queen of Swords, where you feel like you have to, take calculated risks, and even, like, what's the word I'm looking for? Be in control of like your day-to-day things, be in control of your thoughts, whatever the case may be. There is this energy here to allow yourself a break in the physical realm. The swords have to do with our thoughts, our mind. Pentacles have to do with the physical 3D. It's our money, how we get it, how we save it, how we spend it. It's our physical time. What are we putting our time into? Where are we physically showing up in our lives? It's also our physical body, this, suit that we're wearing in this lifetime, right? It could even be, like whatever is going on with the Queen of Swords. And again, it could be discovering a truth about yourself. There could be some level of clarity in what you want to do or what you want to communicate. But whatever it is going to be successful to where, like you are going to have financial freedom, however that looks like for you. Because this almost even kind of feels a bit luxurious in the sense of, she has wine and some snacks. She has a book. This cat is taking a nap. It's very like, It's very relaxing. So it's like cultivating that in your life, right? I love that. And then we move on to the 10 of Cups. And the 10 of Cups is like the minor arcana card to the Sun card. It's everything good. It's, your cup is overflowing, but everybody around you, their cup is overflowing too. Everybody feels purposeful. Everybody feels fulfilled. Cups have to do with our emotions, heart chakra. How do we feel about our lives? How do we feel about what we are putting out in our lives? How do we feel about the people in our lives, right? Like, what is our relationship to love? Not just romantic, but platonic love and self love, right? So, again, like I was saying, nines are individual completion. This is you feeling successful, feeling abundant, feeling like your needs are met on the physical plane. And the 10 of Cups is feeling like your emotions are fulfilled in the emotional plane. But also, again, right, it's community. It could be family, of course, chosen or biological, because we have the King of Swords. Sorry, we have the King of Cups, the Queen of Cups, the Page of Cups. And in the Queen of Cups card in this tarot deck, she is pregnant. So in the 10 of Cups, she's had the baby now. There's also, they're picnicking next to this river, and there's an abundance of fruits and vegetables for them to enjoy. There's all of these cups here too, so there's even this like sense of welcoming and, again, even creating community, but it's like having a space for everybody, even if they're not there yet, right? But like the space is there, the information is there, the love is there for them when they get there. But it's almost like, it's cultivating that space so that it is there and available for the people who need the space, whatever it is, like, again, it can be family, it can be community, it can be work, it can be just your day-to-day routine type of thing. And it's paired with the 4 of Wands, which is also another card of community. So we have these two cards of community, one being on the emotional side of things, feeling emotionally fulfilled, also fulfilling something emotionally for other people, right? And then wands have to do, we have all of the elements here, just in these 4 cards anyway: air, earth, water, fire. So there's even a balance of that happening. The 4 of Wands, wands have to do with fire. It's about the actions that we take. It's the motivation behind the actions that we take. It's creativity, passion, like I was even, with this given to passion card. It's, how are we communicating those things? What actions are we taking towards those things? I also see wands as being the suit of information, because that's what we get by trying things, right? We figure out what works, what doesn't work, what do we like, what don't we like. The way that we thought something was going to go, or that we envisioned it going, maybe we saw ourselves in a certain position, right? We thought we would be in a certain position. We thought we would, enjoy doing a certain thing. But then we start trying those things, right? We start taking action towards those things, and maybe they evolve into something else, or through meeting people or, sharing, you discover that your passion actually is in this other thing, or you enjoy doing this other thing more, or whatever, right? I hope you get what I mean by that. But the 4 of Wands is reaching a point of success and stability, because generally, like, the 4 of Wands is sometimes depicted as there's usually like 4 wands, and they're stuck in the ground in a square formation, which is where like having a firm foundation comes from. Even 1111 comes from that, which is, a new beginning, which we can kind of see here with these sparklers. But there is this sense of celebration in community, even, like finding that community. So we have the water element with, our emotions, and then we have the fire element with, this is definitely more emotional. This is definitely more like celebratory and, passionate. So it's almost like the balance between those two, which is interesting because the next card is a Two of Pentacles, which talks about balance. Balancing, like what the community that you are passionate about with the community that you are, like emotionally attracted to or something. So the Two of Pentacles, again, right, it talks about balancing like your responsibilities. And, we can see that this person is holding these 2 pentacles above their head. There's this infinity symbol. So it's kind of like, this never ending cycle of responsibility, right? Bills, adulting, whatever, right? Like sleep, your health, it's like balancing all of these different aspects of our lives, right? And it's a 2. So it's at the beginning of the journey through the pentacles, because obviously we would start with the Ace of Pentacles, which is a new opportunity, a gift, something along those lines, which then creates this balance here in the Two of Pentacles. Or it could just be, like it's it's able to come in and not disrupt things that much. However, though, we have this cat here. So this person is standing on this teeter-totter, this seesaw, right? And even they're balanced like right in the middle of it, but their focus is up on these 2 responsibilities here. It doesn't have to obviously be, just 2, but it is focusing on balance. Oh my gosh, how many times is there a tally? Like, how many times have I said the word balance? But here comes this cat that is going to, it's going to change the weight on this thing, and you're not going to see it because you're looking up, right? So I don't think that this is a bad thing. And like I think I said that like the Two of Pentacles has come up in almost every single reading. So there's this clear like energy through all of the readings about balancing things out. But more so that there is going to be a change in that balance, or just kind of something that even just like shakes up the energy, because it's like if we are so focused on just these 2 things, and we're just using 2 things as in 2 pentacles, then, it's almost kind of like the energy can get stagnant or can get stuck. And it is going to take a little black cat, whatever that is, right? It doesn't have to literally be a cat, but there's some type of energy that's going to come in that's just going to shake that a little bit, but it's going to loosen things up too. So you might see something. It might even just be an idea. It might even be, trying things. You might even just be like, I want to take a risk in some capacity, right? Because the card that's under the Two of Pentacles is the Knight of Pentacles. So this person, they're off the teeter-totter, they're off the seesaw, and now they're focusing their attention on moving forward. The Knight of Pentacles is the slowest moving knight in the whole tarot. But, it comes with this requirement of dedication and commitment, because things may be moving slowly, but they're moving forward. Like, at least they're moving, right? Whereas like in the Two of Pentacles, sure, there's balance, and sure, there's, there's predictability even from that, and whatever. But with the Knight of Pentacles, it's like seeing things move forward. And even too, like, there could even just be something that comes in, something, some outside something that comes in that is going to, it's almost like solidify this. It's like whatever it is that this cat is representing on this Two of Pentacles, the purpose of it and the gift of it is that it's going to move things forward. It's like it's going to give you the clarity on the thing to focus on, because we can see in this Knight of Pentacles, for one, they're holding one pentacle, not two, and they have the tools that they need, right? Their cat is there. It's like they have everything that they need. Their foot might still be on the ground, but they're at least focused forward and like allowing themselves to be guided by that pentacle. And that pentacle could be what this passion is. It's interesting too, because again, right, there is this energy of something starting to move forward. Like, even if it's slow progress, you're going to start, either feeling that energy, you're going to start noticing it. And then we even have the Eight of Cups at the bottom of the deck. And the Eight of Cups talks about leaving something behind that is no longer serving you. And again, cups with our emotions, right? It's like there's this last bit of smoke coming out of this one cup here. So it's like any like residual thing, you've tried it. And also too, because the Eight of Cups it's not so much what they're leaving behind in the Eight of Cups, it's what they're moving towards, because they're walking towards the Nine of Cups, which is wish fulfillment, your desires being met. So it could even be, of course, like this clarity of what it is that you want. How do you want to feel? What is wish fulfillment for you? What are your desires? What would meet your desires, right? So it's recognizing that you didn't find them in these cups. You tried, right? Like you tried those cups, but, and even too, if it was just a, not a roadblock, because that's not how it fit, but like a rest stop, like just however many rest stops there have been. It could also even be, because I keep getting this like image of like a marathon, or like a, like something where you're exerting a lot of energy and there's those water stations set up along the way. So, but right, you had a starting place and you have an ending place, and between there were all of these stops where you were getting clear in your emotions, you were exerting emotion, you were, kind of going through what feels good, what doesn't feel good. And now you're at a point of moving on to the Nine of Cups, which is again just more clarity in your desires and your wishes, right? And then we have the Moon card behind it, which is Cancer. There's a full moon. Well, there's a new moon tomorrow, but clearly this is full. So there's a full moon later on this month. I can't remember the exact date of it, but it could even just be working with moon magic. But the message behind the moon is that things, like everything has yet to be revealed. It does deal with the subconscious. So, I mean, you could be doing subconscious work with this Eight of Cups, and even with any of this, that's like on the table, getting your mind right, right? Like matching your thoughts with your emotions, aligning those two things, because sometimes they could be out of alignment and it just kind of creates this like chaos, right? Because so in this card, this cat, we see it as being this cat. They see themselves as being like a panther, right? So it's like, what is being reflected back to you? Even just in everyday life, right? Like, what is being reflected back to you? And usually, like, if wherever the moon shows up at the bottom of the deck, to me, it kind of feels like the focus needs to be on this right now, not on basically like what is behind the moon card. I know we said that the Queen of Wands was back here, but look how similar-ish, right? Not all the way, but just, the vibrant colors. And, like the Queen of Wands is very passionate, very confident, like allowing themselves to show up and be seen, getting their flowers, right? Recognition, acknowledgement. And then the Ace of Pentacles was behind there. We were talking about the Ace of Pentacles a little bit. All right, I'm going to leave it there. Thank you so much for allowing me to read your cards. I will talk to you soon. Bye.